stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome, race fans, to another edition of the Western States Racing League, this time live from the iconic Auto Club Speedway. I'm Mike DeBoni. Joined with me, as always, is Alan Bergen. Alan, man, how is it going?
It's going good. And, hey, look, we got over 40 drivers signing in here tonight, getting ready to do battle for 80 laps at Auto Club Speedway. The now defunct and torn down Auto Club Speedway, but nonetheless, while it may be gone in the real world, we still have it on the virtual world, so I'll take it.
Yeah, definitely. All of the drivers are anxiously awaiting the start of the race as they get set for qualifying. Last week, we had a first-time winner this season in Andrew Schulte. He had not had the start to the season that he was hoping for. He was able to bring home the victory last week at Iowa. James Lehman led 129 laps, but had to settle for second place. Ryan Steele wound up third. That is where we're going to start tonight as these guys are on track. Let's go on down and take a look, see who's rolling through here.
Well, there's our first driver. Yeah, I was going to say, there's our first driver on track, Andrew Sultan at number 81. Switching it up from the Taco Bell scheme and running a Looks like a cancer awareness scheme of some sort. But nonetheless, he's running at 40.19 seconds around this racetrack. And Mike, you know, as we are starting this race here in the twilight, this thing will end under the lights.
Yeah, it definitely will. That track temperature is going to drop. Everybody's going to have to make slight adjustments to their ride as they're working through here. Right now, the track temperature is really cool already, so only going to probably steadily drop just a couple of degrees here or there. These guys should have plenty of grip to put on some exciting racing action here around Auto Club.
Right, as we're watching Carl Burke in that number 53 take his first lap, or his second lap, and that's going to be good enough for 5th quickest. You know, I gotta bring this up real quick, Mike. I was saddened yesterday when I heard that James Earl Jones, the legendary actor who appeared in the Field of Dreams, The Sandlot, and who was the voice of Mufasa, and Darth Vader had passed away at the age of 93 years old.
Yeah, it's amazing all of the video and vocal talent that he just was able to produce and put out there. Most people recognize his voice before they actually recognize the person.
Well, look, I'm sure, you know, given the fact that you got some small children at home, that you played you played the Lion King numerous times.
Oh, just a few.
Look, you know the songs by heart, I'm sure. Even when you're growing up, you probably watched it a few times. But have your kids ever watched The Sandlot?
I think maybe once. I think maybe once.
And I know y'all watched some Star Wars.
Not too many.
Nonetheless, Lyle Swearingen with a 40.11, get enough for second fastest. Bob Beltrami checking in there with a 4.17, with a 40.17. Ugh.
Now Beltrami has that Beltrami Salami 14 Toyota rolling tonight. He's been pretty quick in practice, and he shows it there as he is third quickest on the board right now. James Lehman is on top with a 40.09. Who else is out on track? Looks like William Fletcher is rolling through. At least him and Carl Burke do not have the same paint schemes. Did that a few weeks ago. Carl hasn't been on track for quite a while. He's made some practice laps, and then all of a sudden he just drops out of the race.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to do that. And William Fletcher there in that number 28 truck. The Proud of Hugh in the Navy. Oh wait, that's the Marine, sorry.
Got the Dr. Dabber 42 Toyota of Chad Simpson rolling through. First lap for him was a 41.03. We know he can go quicker on this second lap. We'll see where he winds up as they work their way around here. We got Babs checking in from Texas, as always. Good to see in the chat.
Yes.
Second lap for Simpson is going to be
Fifth
quickest, 14.19. So the top six basically separated by a 1/10 of a second.
Yeah, but there's one guy that's on the track now. There it is. Justin Michael.
Yeah, last week was not the week for Justin Michael.
If I remember serves me right, I believe they get 2 drop weeks.
They get 17 races count out of a 20 race season.
Well, guess what? If there's a week that he's going to drop, it'll probably be last week.
Yeah, last week he started at the tail end of the field, was able to work his way up through the field after getting caught in a couple incidents. Wound up finishing P10.
Now that line that Justin Michael's running, that's going to be the fast way around this racetrack. They're going to come down and get below the apron at the start-finish line. But Mike, that's what we like to call running the cushion. Is he's essentially good enough for a 41.97. Here he is on the second lap. Drives it off the corner, gets it. I like that line that he's running.
Yeah, he definitely knows his way around the track. He is won repeatedly here this season. He won at Kentucky, at Charlotte, at Texas. It would not surprise me to see him back in the winner's circle here in California.
That's the pole right there. 40.09 will get you on the polls. That's the time to beat right now is well, James Lehman matches it.
Going to come down to not hundredths of a second, but thousandths of a second for Justin Michael to wind up on the pole as he makes his way down pit lane. Wayne Fleet, the only other driver out on track at the moment, as qualifying is just getting ready to wrap up here. Gonna roll that Viagra number 6 forward to a stop on the back.
It must be hard to get around that track.
The FBR 77 Chevy of Chris Simard went out, tried to make a lap, 40.70, and looks like he lost it on lap 2, so he elected to park it, and he will start at the tail end of the field. Well, almost tail end of the field. Heath Smith, Daryl Scott, and James Campbell elected not to put down a qualifying lap, so we will move from the qualifying down to the race session as the sun dips a little lower in the western skies here. Go on down to the track. Got Justin Michael on the pole once again. James Lehman just to his outside. 68 of Lyle Swearingen up there in P3. Bob Beltrami just to his outside. And if you notice there, Lyle Swearingen, this is a hometown track for the driver of the 68 Toyota. We have William D. Kirk here in the number 9 Chevy. Chad Simpson, Dr. Dabber, 42. Andrew Schulte, Ryan Steele not in their rides yet. Go to Dennis Pousson. Michael Melfelt Jr. Got Justin T. Wilkinson and Matt Sisler in row 6. Row 7 is Rob Haynes and Dan Brazington. Butch Davis and Scott Kukas make up row 8. Row 9, Carl Burke and Morris Bogan. Ryan Barnes and William Fletcher round out row 10. Row 11 is Christian Bishop and Barry Phil. John Rohr and Chad Stearns make up row 12. Row 13, Rob Gall and Todd Miles. Wayne Fleet and Julian Ricci in 28th. Chris Simard, like I said, starts last car that put down a qualifying lap in 29th. Heath Smith, the Oregon Ducks number 1 machine. Barely were able to squeak out the win last weekend. Daryl Scott and James Campbell will start shotgun on this field. This is where we're going to start. Justin Michael going to lead them to green once again, and we will see if he's going to make it to the checkers here on the front end.
Let's say we checker the record for this driver.
Isn't that the way it usually works?
I mean, yeah. 80 laps is the distance here tonight, and this is a 2 mile. Well, it was a 2 mile D-shaped oval. In the simulation, it's a 2 mile D-shaped oval. In real life, it's about a straightaway.
Yeah, they got a little bit of room. We'll see if they decide to do anything else with it. Kind of be cool to have another little short track on the West Coast, but we'll see how that works out.
Well, you know, this track races those next-gen cars really, really well.
Yeah, it's not high banks like the super speedway, so there's a few more grooves you can try and run here. It's a little flatter. Pace cars making that left-hand turn down pit lane. Justin Michael with the lead here as they get ready to take the green flag. Green flag is out. Justin Michael, James Lehman side by side. Lyle Swearingen staying right to that back bumper. And Andrew Schulte is shoving William Kirk as hard as he can on that inside lane.
80 laps. Well, we got a truck around. It's JTW. He's around and oh no. Collects it. Oh no. The number 19 in a bad way. Anybody know the number of a good chiropractor? Because we don't need one right now.
So I'm gonna blame that on you, Alan.
When do we not? Okay. When do we not blame cautions on Alan?
Oh, that was weird. It looked like he kind of got sucked up behind Fuson there and just wound up sideways. Butch Davis able to get by. Brian Barnes, just barely squeaks. Morris Bogan gets by as well. Everybody else trying to get Skinny back behind him. Oh, Barry Phil gets put into the wall there. Julian Ricci able to get by. James Campbell by as well. See. That might be Matt Sisler. Take a look here. All right, on board here with Matt Sisler. We'll see the 19 down.
Ooh, it looks like he hit one of those asphalt like stripes.
Yeah,
and just upsets the truck.
That is weird. But it is something that does happen at Auto Club.
Well, nonetheless, working lap number 3 under caution for the first time tonight. Is look, you know, talk about your Murphy's Law.
There's no Murphy's Law. There's Alan said, caution free. And we don't even make a lap and we get a caution. Anyway.
Yeah, it's a caution free. Goodness gracious.
This is one of the flatter tracks we come to. It's only, the turns are only banked at 14 degrees. The front stretch, 11. Back stretch is pretty flat at only 3 degrees. So you usually can run a few different lines here.
Or
So
they can just run into each other.
well, just don't get in the just don't get in the wrong line.
Oh, Mike, we crack ourselves up sometimes.
Oh. So, what do you think about the NASCAR charter agreement ish?
Oh my God. So look, two team. Okay. Oh, dude, where do we start?
I just figured to give us something to talk about here while they roll around here.
Hey, that's fine. That is totally fine. I love a good rant. NASCAR charters. I think they're a joke. I miss the days where Friday was first round qualifying. You had 45 to 50 cars show up the first round qualifying. If you didn't make it into the top 36 on Friday, then you went to second round qualifying on Saturday. As Justin Michael brings the field back to green flag, Carroll out number 5, who was the 80 that's scheduled to be run here. Lyle Swearingen there in the number 68 car. Pretty close. Well, not really that close, but there you go. There's about 3/10 of a second off of Justin Michael in that number 87 Toyota Tundra.
What happened to Butch Davis? Butch Davis is down on the inside. Didn't hit the wall. Just made a hard left-hand turn there.
You can't park there.
Sure you can. You got William Kirk up on the high line. Lyle Swearingen blocking for all it's worth at the moment. Maybe not blocking, but trying to get a little push to get caught up there to Justin Michael. You see these guys fan out coming through the corners.
Oh boy, we're getting crazy now. Justin Michael on the inside. Lyle Swearingen on the outside. But don't look now, kid. Here comes James Lehman and the number 9 car, William D. Kirk.
Yeah, Lehman and Kirk are definitely pushing the leaders out here. Got Chad Simpson trying to pick a lane that he wants to be in, and Bob Beltrami running P7 out to the inside of Andrew Schulte.
And this is you take a look at the wide shot, there's those 3 lines that you can see that Mike was telling you about where these guys can run at. And well, that number 50 truck of James Lehman is putting on the hairnet and getting ready to serve lunch to the top 2.
William Kirk dives down to the inside, down to that apron, trying to make the shortest way around the track. He slides back up. Dead even there with Lyle Swearingen. Kirk's trying to lead this race, and he will do just that now. Michael Bourne checking in on the chat.
Here comes Swearingen to the lead. He's going to bring Lehman with him.
Definitely looks like they know what they're doing here, as they found the fastest way around the track, as you saw him kind of play a little hopscotch there. Kirk went to the high side. Swearingen went down low and was able to take that position back in the code red number 68 Toyota. Might surprise you who the fastest man on the track is. He is actually Back down here in 16th position, Morris Bogan with a 40.17. Fastest lap of the race so far. Christian Bishop, Matt Kukas, Matt Sisler. Bouncing inside, outside. But action all over the track here tonight. 10 laps into 80 laps. Percent fuel, so they will have to probably pit at least once, depending on how they're running. They got 3 sets of tires sitting in the pit lane. Tires might become a factor here. It is auto clip, kind of wears the tires a little bit faster than you would expect. And caution. Morris Bogan. Happened to Morris here.
And, well, that's caution number 2. Now you can send all your hate mail to Mike Damani at simracingmedia.com.
Not me. It was not my fault. Right, there's Bogan down on the inside, right behind Sean Rohr. See what happens here. Christian Bishop. Oh, Bogan just turns right and goes right up into Christian Bishop there. Gets put into the outside wall. I don't know that he saw that Christian was there. But over half the field comes down pit lane now. William Kirk, James Lehman, Bob Beltrami, Ryan Steele, Dennis Fuson, Brian Barnes, Julian Ricci, and Rob Gall all stay out. Ooh. Michael Bourne, definitely wishing you a speedy recovery.
Who's that?
Hmm?
Who's wishing me a speedy recovery?
No, Michael Bourne. In the YouTube chat, looks like he had a stroke the other day. He's in the hospital. He usually races for FBR Motorsports.
Well, speedy recovery to Michael Bourne. Get better, get well soon. Hopefully we'll be seeing you on the track for too long. I don't see Kyle McCartney out there.
Apparently the Snap-on truck repossessed. Haven't seen it in a couple weeks, I don't believe.
Maybe he couldn't afford to pay the Snap-on bill.
Yeah, you know.
You know, that is the most expensive truck on the field, though, right? I remind you about that every week. Look. I tell you what, though, Mike, you know, here in just short of a month, the SRM team will be making its annual pilgrimage to the wonderful Miami Homestead Speedway. And while they're down there at the Miami Homestead Speedway, you see one of the SRM guys, be sure to stop and give him a wave and say hi, and you know, I'm sure that that the guys would appreciate that.
Yeah, gonna have some fun down in the sun.
Well, I'll be in East Tennessee while you're basking away in the sunlight and getting sunburnt. So
Well, that's fine.
make sure you pack the SPF 100.
I probably will need it. It'll probably be at least 60 degrees warmer down there than it is up in Wyoming when I'm down there. So.
Hey kids, I'm going to Florida, and you're not going.
Exactly. William B. Kirk is going to lead the drivers of the WSRL League to the green flag. James Lehman to his outside. And we are underway here once again. Lehman goes back up to the high side. William Kirk with the run off the corner. Like Justin Michael pulled down trying to get a couple spots here on the restart early as they are 4 wide back behind him. Lyle Swearingen down on the inside.
You know, Mike, this is a shorter race. So you got to wonder if that sense of urgency is with these guys tonight.
Well, it's still, I mean, it seems like it's a shorter race, but really not that short. It's still 160 miles.
Yikes.
Bob Beltrami pulling down now. Looks like Andrew Schulte down to the inside. Going to try and get a spot or two. Michael Melfeld Jr. in the middle, 3 wide. Lyle Swearingen up on the high side. Rob Haynes stuck in the middle. Looks like he was trying to go down. Maybe pushes Justin Michael down a little bit closer to the apron there. He's getting shoved there by Andrew Schulte. Brian Barnes is trying to get a little air to the nose there. He is up high on the wall. As you can see, almost 5 different lanes are running between Melfeld Jr., Chad Simpson, Justin Michael, Andrew Schulte, all of them spread out across the track. Working lap 16.
Here's the thing about Auto Club, even its real life counterpart. I was in about 5 degrees of sad when they tore this place down. Because I really felt like with the combination of the current Cup car, and everybody still calls it the next gen car. But kids, it's the only Cup car we have now, so we don't need to call it the next gen car.
Not on iRacing.
I know, but we could still call it the Cup car.
Yeah, I know. No, but you're right. I mean, I bet it would have raced really well there, especially after they made a few of the changes that they've made.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, you got 3 lines of racing going on right now. We're looking at Bob Beltrami, the Beltrami Salami, number 14, and that's a Toyota Tundra. And, you know, this is the kind of racing that I was around when I was racing pretty heavily in the series. Bob Beltrami was always dominating, and so was a couple other guys. Now,
Yeah, I kind of miss some of the guys that used to race here. Haven't seen them in a little while. I mean, we see them every now and then, I guess, but maybe they're taking a season off, as this is their 51st season, running 2 seasons a year. 25 years of action here in the Western States Racing League.
right now we're looking at Chad Simpson and that Dr. Dabber, number 42, riding back there in that 4th position, or 5th position, up 1 spot before he started. Now he's up 2 spots as he has passed Bob Beltrami in that Beltrami Salami truck, working lap number 19, coming to lap 20 with 60 to go here from Auto Club Speedway.
tons of action in the back as well. These guys have all spread out. You got Chris Samard, Brian Barnes, Sean Rohr, Scott Kukas, all pretty close together there. And even Heath Smith isn't too far out of it. Butch Davis getting by Julian Ricci. Dennis Fuson and the Tito's Vodka machine just in front of him.
Tito's Vodka.
Sounds like a good thing to have when we're in Miami.
So,
Really
Mike,
should-
are you flying first class in Miami, or are you just stuck in coach?
Stuck in coach.
Okay.
I can't afford first class. Now, if somebody wants
I
to
mean-
upgrade my seat,
Put that on the expenditures account, right? On the capital expense account.
yeah. No, I got.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine our boss would be short circuiting over that one?
This will be go down there and have a blast. I know we've got tickets to the race already, but our Airbnb already booked out, so should be a great time here. As Bob Beltrami now has Butch Davis all over his back end. Looks like Butch Davis maybe was saving a little tire there as he is cutting through the field fairly quickly. It looks like he's almost 2/10 faster than the leaders right now.
Yeah, you don't want to, like, I mean, yeah, it's a 2-mile oval, but man, you really got to have that sense of urgency. As these guys continue to slice and dice their way to the field. Working lap 23 now, the scheduled 80 that are supposed to be ran here today. And I say that like we're, you know, I'd say that, you know.
Well, as you say that, these drivers that pitted on lap 11 are going through the field like they're butter. Lyle Swearingen, Christian Bishop, Chad Simpson, Butch Davis all pitted on lap 11. So they all have, I'm going to say they all got tires because they spent 15 seconds in their pit box. So it looks like fresh tires are going to be the difference here. So wondering if maybe they took tires a little too soon, or if they're hoping it's going to go green the rest of the way and they make it their one pit stop and everybody else winds up on a little worse for wear tires.
I mean, you don't want to show your hand too early.
So who was the last winner at Autocook Speedway in the Cup car?
Kyle Busch.
Yep.
I think he was just as sad as I was to see this track go away. But look, okay, so the Gen 6 car didn't race well that year.
Yeah.
But man, they broke out that current Cup car, and it was like 9-day difference.
Yeah. It was.
I think the racing was just so much better with the new style Cup cars that they have. Even though we're like on our third year with them.
Yeah. So go back in February of 22. They raced here, and the average speed was 114 miles an hour. The average speed a year later in 2023 was 127 miles an hour. So they obviously figured out something there.
Working lap number 27 of the scheduled 80. Lyle Swearingen continues to do Lyle Swearingen things, while Kristen Bishop runs in that. He's up 19 spots.
Yeah, Christian Bishop, after he pitted, he must have figured something out because he's just quick.
Where did he find grip at?
I don't know. The top 4 now all pitted on lap 11. Everybody else is kind of struggling just a little bit. Couple tenths fall off there for Ryan Steele versus Lyle Swearingen.
My God. JTW is, he's back on track. Barry Phillip, William Fletcher, all taking extended stay on pit road.
Yeah, Barry Phillip, William Fletcher, Carl Burke, all done.
Yep. They've had their fun meters pegged out for tonight. I kind of knew when this track came up on the schedule. I was like, man, I wonder if it's going to be a night race. Because, look, these trucks race really well under the lights. Want to remind everybody, tomorrow night is Wednesday night, and that means the Racers Elite Xfinity cars will be hitting the track at New Hampshire and the Granite State, and you can catch Troy Thomas and Angel Santiago on the call for that one, and then come right back here on Thursday night with the Racers Elite Next Gen Series, and that will have Dave Regal and Jordan Brackell on the call for that one, and Mike. Andrew Tutt over there at the Racers Elite Cup Series and the Xfinity Series is essentially locked into the playoffs. It's his race to lose as we are wrapping those seasons up. And I know you missed those races over there, and because they were such a blast.
Yeah, they always put on a show, and if you want some action and have some time, they do more than just race Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They're having their Stafford Series come up on Friday. That's going to showcase basically Friday night action that you'd find at your local short track. Saturday, they run a Super Speedway League. And then Sundays, they usually throw on some sort of special event here and there. So you can check them out. Bob Beltrami coming down pit lane. Brian Barnes in as well. So this might be some pretty good pit strategy here for the drivers that pitted on lap 11. If you only can go about 30-ish laps on a tank of Go Fast, these guys are gonna wind up getting just to the other side of halfway, and then they'll be able to come down and should be able to make it to the end on one pit stop here.
I almost let the adolescent male out of me when you said there's action. He said if you're looking for action, I almost let the adolescent male side of me come out. It's been a long day.
Anyway, Lyle Swearingen and Chad Simpson.
As Dave Regal would say, everybody needs a hobby.
For some, it's racing. Christian Bishop still battling here.
I would imagine you're on the other side of this mic, just trying not to laugh excessively.
That's what a mute button's for. Dennis Poussin going to be coming in.
No one ever said my jokes were good.
Okay, the Cardinals are not going to make the playoffs, so it's all right.
No, look. So the Cardinals are so far out of it, I think they're in the playoffs. Now, okay, here. Okay. So today, at work, we do football sheets. You pick the winners and the losers, closest to the right. The amount of $2, right? So week 2's out now, and the guy goes, out of Indianapolis and Green Bay, who do you think wins? I said, where are they playing at? He goes, Green Bay. I said, then Green Bay wins. He's like, I don't know. I said, I'm telling you, man, Green Bay will win because they're at home.
I think Green Bay loses. They don't have Jordan Love. Lyle Swearingen and Chad Simpson battling back and forth once again. Christian Bishop back to third. Christian Bishop just surrounded by the FBR Motorsports teammates, with Butch Davis hanging on back there as well. Bob Beltrami made his pit stop and is back out on track. First car a lap down, trying to get his lap back the hard way here. And he will do just that. James Lehman also trying to get by on the bottom side. He is going to be back on the lead lap. We make Ryan Steele the first car a lap down as all these drivers pitted on lap 34. Imagine we're going to see Lyle Swearingen, Bishop, Simpson, and Davis all come in probably 10 or 11 laps, somewhere in there.
I can't believe we're almost to the end of this thing.
We're not even halfway.
We're 2 laps away from halfway. Look, this is an easy one to figure out by halfway because it's only 80 laps.
St. Louis can math that.
We can. Yes.
Anyway.
Look, I grew up underneath the lead smeltering tower. What's your excuse?
I grew up in BFE.
What?
We just finally found the internet. Anyway. Lyle Swearingen, Christian Bishop, and Chad Simpson almost 3 wide there.
If you tell me that you almost hit a buggy with an Amish guy in it one of these days, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I have. Not even joking. There's a whole community up here. They have church down by the river, and they get their buggies out and go down the highway. And if you're not paying attention and you come over this one hill, you could hit them.
I mean, even look. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Ryan Steele trying to get his lap back. Where's Andrew Schulte? Andrew Schulte put on lap 11, running P7 now.
Don't drink in cattle.
Really should have Dave bring one of his favorite whiskeys when he goes down to Miami.
Angel's Bourbon Whiskey. Look, I'm pretty sure if you ask, you shall receive. His son made it very clear that once he gets off the airplane, the first thing he's gonna go find is the nearest liquor store.
Oh yeah, that does not surprise me. All right, so Lyle Swearingen, Chad Simpson, Butch Davis all head down pit lane. Christian Bishop staying out. Yeah, that would not surprise me. I think he gets in like 8 hours before I do, 7 hours before I do. So,
Oh boy.
yeah, he'll probably be well on his way.
So what's a oh, how do I put this that's safe for work? How does a sober Dave compare to a sauced up Dave?
I don't know, about the same. I don't know that it really changes it too much anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, and here's a little PSA for everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're out and you've had one too many, call a ride. Because friends don't let friends drive drunk. This from the Coalition of Roadway Safety. I've heard that so much this weekend I got it down. I memorized it.
Yeah, I'm sure they throw that out on the track speakers over and over again.
Yeah, SaveMoLives.com.
Like Andrew Schultz is going to come down pit lane. He's Smith down as well. Sisler is going to take over the lead. Going to lead a lap.
You know, while you're basking away in the sun, Mike, I will be in East Tennessee recreating my honeymoon. Because that's the kind of husband that I am.
Yeah, I probably should do something in June.
Some more?
Yeah, she's put up with me for almost, well, it'll be 20 years in June as far as married goes, so.
That's a long time. Look,
Yeah.
it's cheaper to have you killed. At this point anyways, it's definitely cheaper to have you killed.
Yeah. Well, I told her from the beginning, or, well, not from the beginning, after we had kids, that you could leave anytime she wanted. She just had to take the kids, and so she's stuck with me. Oh, we joke.
And that's why we have healthy marriages. Look, when you... Okay.
Ooh, Lehman into the wall.
As James Lehman hits the wall there, it's pancakes it. Right now, James Lehman is out to a 3.5 second gap over Bob Beltrami as we're finishing last of the pit stops here on lap number 45 of the 80 that are scheduled to be run here today. But when you can joke about, you know, a side gal on the side or whatever, what have you, that's how you know you got a good healthy marriage.
I couldn't agree more.
When your wife is on the phone, or, you know, and she said, "Oh, talking to my boyfriend," my response is, "Well, he better leave a 20 on the counter, because they're on the nightstand. Because if I got to pay for it, so does he." So does he.
So we've got Lyle Swearingen, pit on lap 41. So I don't believe they're going to be able to make it, because that was a second pit stop. So it's going to be interesting to see when everybody decides to come down and make that money stop. But
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be about 20 to go.
I would say it'd have to be pretty close, because we've seen these guys, you know, with 10-lap pressure tires, just what they can do. They don't want to wait too long because they can't really take advantage of those pressure tires, and we're under caution.
I don't think they're not close enough to make it yet. I mean, they're going to come down pit road regardless. I just don't know if they're close enough to make it.
I bet they can. It'll be close.
You know what happens when we try to figure out pit strategy, Mike?
All goes out the window just like it just did when we were talking about it.
Yep.
James Campbell. Oh, Morris Bogan just slides up right into James Campbell like he wasn't even there. Take a look from the nose here of James Campbell, just through the corner, and then watch right there.
It's a tough break.
Wonder if Morris just thought he was. He still had half a truck length to go. So everybody, of course, is going to come down pit lane. Well, everybody should come down pit lane. They should be able to make it, I would think.
From here they can.
Yeah, they should be able to. 31 laps, plus a couple caution.
Oh, they got that. They got that.
Like JT Dub was trying to stay out, get a wave around to get one of his laps back, but Scott Kukas stayed out, so it's gonna.
Well, that'll hamper his plans.
Yeah, I'd imagine he's gonna come down pit road because he's not getting his a lap back. So, yeah, and he will peel off and head down pit lane.
Want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight and making the WSRL Western States Racing League and Sim Racing Media your entertainment destination here on Tuesday night.
I wonder if we have more views than the other few talking idiots that are on TV. Anyway.
Oh, probably. Tell them how you really feel.
Is it November yet? Anyway. So everybody pitted except for Scott Kukas here, and he is last pit on lap 41. So about 7 lap older tires. Granted, most of them are under caution.
I mean, we're going to come back to green flag racing with 30 laps to go. We did have that long green flag run here. The iRacing.com pace car peels off. Scott Kukas Lyle Swearingen on the front row, and we are down and away to the Geico Restart Zone and back to green flag racing here on lap number 51.
Look back in the back.
Oh, they're
Michael
piling up
Melfelt
here.
Jr.
Oh, no.
Forces it 3 wide,
And
and around they go.
the Viagra car takes a hard right.
Well, everybody's gonna be good here. Let's take a look here. Michael Melfelt Jr. goes in the middle of the Wayne Fleet. JTW jumps to the high side. Milfeld Jr. sees an opening, goes to the middle, and gets just squeezed there. That's going to bring out the caution. And like Daryl Scott barely gets by. Between Daryl Scott and Wayne Fleet. So everybody should be good on fuel.
Well, yeah, especially from here. Oh boy. Well, Wayne Fleet has had a hard night so far. And that number 6 truck.
He's not supposed to try the sponsor. Lyle Swearingen, Butch Davis, Chad Simpson, Christian Bishop are going to be the first 4. We're going to be single file restarting here. So everybody's on the same. I was gonna say everybody's on the same tire strategy, but it doesn't look like they are. Like they might have been. They might be holding a set of tires just in case. It looks like Swearingen, Davis, and Simpson all made 3 pit stops, but their last pit stop was looks like fuel only.
Mike, 30 laps to go. What's your strategy for the end of this race?
Stay up front. No, pretty much. If I'm up front, I'm gonna hope that it stays green because the single file restart kind of gives me a little bit of an advantage here, especially if I'm Swearingen or Davis. Everybody's gonna basically start with the same wear on their tires. Pretty much, there might be a couple guys that have a little bit fresher tires, like maybe James Lehman or something. But if I can stay out front, run consistent times, try not to burn my tires up too soon, and try and stick around for the end. So they are single filed out here. Swearingen, Davis, and Simpson, FBR teammates on the front row, or front 3 rows. Pace truck makes that left-hand turn. Lyle Swearingen will lead them down to the green flag. Green flag is out, and he turns left immediately to cut the D-shaped oval here.
Now, the one thing you got to remember too, Mike, is, you know, on this racetrack, if you can cut down that trial hole, you get a pretty good run heading off into turn number 1. That's the one thing we really got to pay attention to during this race, because that's where you're going to make a bulk of your time.
Yeah, it definitely seemed to look like that as James Lehman is slicing and dicing his way through the field as he went from the high line, turned right down in front of Christian Bishop, and he is up to P3 now, looking for more as Davis, Swearingen all cut down the track.
Yeah, those other drivers will appreciate that for about 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, and the way Lehman's driving, that's kind of what we saw Morris Bogan do on that the caution before last, as he was sliding up through the corner and just wasn't able to catch his truck as it was going up and make contact there with James Campbell. Chad Simpson, Christian Bishop kind of bouncing back and forth. Andrew Schulte up into P4. Bob Beltrami trying to make his way back up inside that top 5.
Yeah, Bob Beltrami's been floating around at a top 10 all night, and it'd be cool to see him get one.
Yeah, Bob does a ton of stuff for this league. As I said, 25 years, 51 seasons. Definitely one of the longest running leagues on the iRacing service here.
It's a long time, 51 years, or 51 seasons.
Yeah. James Lehman going to try and test Lyle Swearingen down on the inside. Butch Davis pushing teammate to the front. Andrew Schulte trying to find where he wants to be as he is following Lehman around the track at the moment. Swearingen crosses him over, goes down to the inside. Going to try and test him down there as well. We've seen it work time and time again. They seem to be able to make the pass on the bottom, but they know the little bit faster lane is trying to stay on that high lane, but they are able to make it work to get past and then slide back into the groove.
Yeah, right now, Lyle Swearingen and James Lehman and Andrew Schultz are just side by side, just battling it out as we got 3 wide action back there, even around the 7th position of Bob Beltrami. And that's a rough area of the racetrack too, Mike. So, you know, to peel back the curtain just a little bit. So that part of the racetrack, that back straightaway, was so rough that if you got a lot of force feedback, you're gonna feel every bit of that.
Yeah, and you can see the repaved grooves in the track too. Christian Bishop, Bob Beltrami, Christian Bishop into the 93 of Matt Sisler just a little bit as they are bumping. Justin Michael trying to force it 5 wide on the high side. Guys are bouncing all over each other here in the 5th through 10th position-ish, 12th position. Justin Michael was a lap ago up against the wall. Now he is mid-track trying to get by William Kirk down on the inside. One guy we really haven't talked about, but I want to go back and take a look here, is that 97 machine of Julian Ricci, up 17 spots. Biggest mover of the race. Ooh, into the outside wall. Evasive action taken by all the drivers around him. And that is what they call the commentator's curse. James Lehman starting to try and drive away here. He's out to a half-second lead. Andrew Schulte just behind him. Lyle Swearingen, William Kirk, Butch Davis, and side by side is Justin Michael and Chad Simpson.
You know, the sun hasn't set all the way, but it's getting pretty close there. And Mike, I just want to see what the track temperature is right now as there it is, 69-degree track temperature, still at 83% relative humidity. It is cooled off for these guys right now. These guys are on the north side of crazy. Justin Michael driving all the way down to the apron, and he's gonna do a little side drafting off of Butch Davis there in that number 43 truck.
Yeah, Butch Davis looked like he was kind of pinching him down just a little bit. Justin Michael didn't like it, went clear down to the apron to get away from him, and then as they came back up on the track, Butch Davis was still right there. Justin Michael slides up in front, single filed out now through the first, call it 6 positions, is now Ryan Steele pulls down trying to get a run here. Ryan Steele is one of those drivers that can save tires. I don't know how he does it. Tires and fuel seem to be his strong point. I think he was working on a pretty good race there until those couple cautions came out and kind of threw everybody into the same basket.
Yeah, so we got a roughly 15 to go here. From the Auto Club Speedway here, lap 65 of 80. And they're still racing like it's lap 1.
And nobody's really given anybody any track position here, as they are still side drafting as hard as they can when they have the chance. They don't want to give up any of the positions on track. As James Lehman is battling with Andrew Schulte. These two were battling pretty hot and heavy last week at Iowa. Andrew Schulte coming out on the positive end. James Lehman led almost every lap except for I think like 5 laps, and the last one being the one Andrew Schulte led.
Yeah, Andrew Schulte led the one and only lap that counted.
Yeah, Andrew had a rough start to the season. I believe he has 2 or 3 DNFs or back half of the field finishes, so he is not really going to be battling too much for the points championships, but there's still a lot of season left as we have 11 races to go. You do get your 3 drop weeks, so we'll see what it all shakes out once they get headed that direction. Andrew Schulte, though, drives down deep and is able to stay in front here of Lehman. Lyle Swearingen, William Kirk battling, as well as looks like Justin Michaels coming up to the front as well. Bob Beltrami, Chad Simpson side by side, Matt Sisler back behind them, and Christian Bishop also fading back. Chris Sumard up 17 spots. Became the biggest mover of the race now. Still side by side.
Yeah, nothing's really changed there except for they're side by side still.
Andrew Schulte and James Lehman still battling pretty hard here. Nobody's able to pull away. I would assume that Lehman has a little bit fresher tires, but maybe Andrew Schulte has been able to save him a little bit better than Lehman did, as Lehman had to work his way back through the field pretty quickly.
This is a battle that I'm pretty interested in watching right here. That number 81 truck of Andrew Schulte. James Lehman still going at it hot and heavy. And they're running two distinct lines. This is probably the cleanest racing that I've seen here in a while at an Auto Club Speedway, especially in the truck series.
nobody's really gaining any time. Lyle Swearingen, Justin Michael able to get past Ryan Steele and William Kirk, but everybody's still pretty much single filed out. Bob Beltrami up to 7th, Butch Davis 8th, Chad Simpson 9th, and Christian Bishop P10. Well, now 11 as Chris Sumard gets by. Sumard and Keith Smith are two of the bigger movers on the track, 19th and 18th respectively. Back up to the front, and they are still battling here with 10 laps to go. Come to the line. Lehman pulls down to the inside. Side drafted him through 1 and 2. If Andrew Schultz is going to have a run coming off the corner, if Lehman's going to slide up in front of him, and looks like Lehman's going to be able to slide up and clear Schultz. Schultz is going to, I was going to say he was going to go down to the inside, but he fakes that out, goes to the high side, slide draft down the backstretch they go.
9 laps to go.
I would say we were closer together now than we were at the start of the race, but we had a caution on lap 1.
Eight laps to go. Oh, we got a battle going on right now. Andrew Schultz and James Lehman. Andrew Schultz up 6 spots. James Lehman right where he started at.
The game of cat and mouse is afoot as Lehman goes to the high side now. Andrew Schultz is going to try and slide up in front of him. Lehman's going to see about try and draft up to him and then make that left-hand turn down, but he stays right with him through the front stretch. I think I would Lehman pulls up and gives a little bump there to Andrew Schultz. Andrew Schultz, James Lehman side by side, and they are coming up on lap traffic. We're going to see if that's going to play a factor here as they get moving through the corner. They still have a little ways till they catch the lap car. Andrew Schultz slides up in front of Lehman once again. And it's Wayne Fleet they're catching. Wayne Fleet staying up to the high side. Middle of the corner. Oh my gosh. Wayne Fleet.
He's going to make it hard to get around these guys.
I'll say Wayne Fleet was not where he needed to be. I thought I heard over the race radio that he was going to stay high, and he was trying to figure out what he was going to do as he is now up into the wall almost. Lehman all over that back bumper there of Andrew Schultz, trying to get every inch of track he can and every inch and every ounce of momentum to get by that 81 machine. Down the backstretch they go, side by side.
Oh, 5 flanges are in the air. So, oh my God, these guys are going to do something dramatic right here.
I mean, I know there's a little more action on the track, but these guys are not giving an inch. '81 and 50 can't get away from each other tonight.
No, they can't, and that's what makes this so great right now.
James Lehman slides up behind Andrew Schultz. I believe he's been trying to test him to see what way is going to be the fastest way to get around this 81 machine. And he is going to probably set him up and try and make that last lap pass coming out of 4 to get the victory. See if he just allows Andrew Schulte to kind of tow him around the track, and he does not. He pulls down to the inside, going to try and get a little bit of a run here, side by side, almost touching as they head off into turn number 1.
I tell you what, if you don't like this kind of racing, then don't even watch.
I mean, they're battling up here, and not too far behind is this whole hornet's nest here of Swearingen Steele, Justin Michael, Heath Smith, Bob Beltrami. I mean, everybody is all over the track trying to get up here inside that top 3. It looks like Lyle Swearingen's going to have to come down pit lane, as he was not able to get enough fuel in that 68 machine. 2 to go. Lehman on the inside. Schulte on the high side. Down the backstretch. Side drafting as they go.
I don't know. He's got one more lap to make something happen here. Mike, I got a feeling we're getting ready to see race of the season here. Quite possibly race of the year.
Andrew Schulte trying to run a little bit different line, trying to put James Lehman in a more uncomfortable spot as they get towed around the track. Lehman closing in, trying to stay right on that rear bumper of that 81 machine. White flag in the air. Andrew Schulte with the lead. James Lehman trying to close in. Down the backstretch they go. Lehman all over that back bumper, trying to get every ounce of momentum he can as he is looking to make that last corner pass here. Dives down deep. Here he goes.
To the inside.
He has the lead, but will Andrew Schulte be able to battle back as he is going to try and go to the high side?
The drag racing. Oh,
Lehman
right
wins. Let's see.
What a race.
Let's go back here real quick as we were watching that other battle here. Look at this battle for 3rd place. Got Heath Smith, Bob Beltrami, Brian Steele, Justin Michael, all battling. And Ryan Steele is going to get the P3. See you, Babs. Thanks for tuning in as always here.
James Lehman burning it down.
Yeah, still burning it down. But that's kind of what Auto Club is. That finish there is what we were kind of hoping for Auto Club.
I mean, that's what I was hoping for Auto Club.
As we couple drivers here, let's see if we can get the 3rd place driver Ryan Steele up in the booth. Alan, you're with Ryan.
Ryan Steele out of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Hey man, you know, first off, good run here tonight. I know 3rd place is not a win, but nonetheless, still a solid finish here in the racing and the points. Take us through that race and maybe what more you needed out of your crew to secure the win.
What more I needed? Honestly, I probably got almost everything I needed out of the race. I don't know if I could have done a whole lot better other than just, I don't know, being faster. Maybe replacing the driver with someone else would get a better result. Um, but yeah, I'm perfectly happy with the race. And that finished at almost a short track style finish of how much we were beating and banging. But we all held on, so got a good finish out of it.
Yeah, so now we head into the next race of the season. So what's your mindset as we work through the season here with 11 races left to go?
Oh, every race is definitely points racing. Like I'm in the hunt, and there's a lot of people in the hunt. Like there's a cluster of guys, because of with how there's been a lot of guys who had some bad luck, and there are some guys that haven't had so much bad luck at all. And so there's like I don't know, I didn't look at the point sheet, but I think there's like 7 people that are really close or something like that. So making sure you get through every race, hopefully beating everybody you're racing in points, which I mostly did today. So that's a good thing. I just got to keep on doing it. Got to keep on getting points when I can.
7-4. And real quick before we get you out of here, is there anybody that you'd like to thank to help get here tonight?
I got to thank my dog bear teams for helping prepare for the race, and I got to thank you guys for coming to see.
Hey, one more question though. Seems how you're from Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Now you've heard. I'm sure you know of Victory Outdoor Services, right?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay, give me your best concretes ordered or easy money.
I don't know it that well.
Oh, okay. We'll let you pass on that one.
All right.
Easy money. Go watch the YouTube.
Yeah, I'm mostly like I've got an ad blocker on everything I can, so I don't see a whole lot of ads these days.
All right, man. Well, good job on that third place run. We'll let you celebrate with your team.
Yeah, thank you.
Andrew Schulte, man. Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going?
Not too bad, Mike. How are you?
Well, not bad. Well, a little different this week than last week. You came up just a hair short, but looked like you still had the truck to win here. How are you feeling when you were headed into that last little section?
Yeah, I was looking at lap times, and it doesn't look like I did anything. Doesn't look like I did anything different there lap time wise. It was pretty consistent compared to the previous like 5 or 6 laps. I had taken 2 tires on that last caution and knew that I wasn't going to have the tire advantage over them, so I needed to keep the high side regardless, because I think James, if he would have been able to drive around me had he gotten to my outside. So just kept defending the top, and he drove it in through 3 and 4, and he was 2/10 better on that lap than he had the previous 5 or so laps. So he had enough tire to just drive right on past me.
Yeah, it looked like there was a little bit of beating and banging, but a fun race it looked like there for the last few laps. Two races back to back where he ran pretty well. How are you feeling as we head into New Hampshire next week?
I'm just glad that we've had some consistent good finishes these last couple of races. So that's what we're going to take from that, and hopefully we can just keep this consistency going. I don't think we had a top 5 truck tonight, so to be on the podium, that's leaps and bounds above where I thought we were going to end up.
Definitely, man. Well, anybody you want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
Shout out to Bandit, my Bandit Motorsports teammates, Scott Patton with Patented Paints as always. You guys at Sim Racing Media for broadcasting this, Bob for giving us a place to race on Tuesdays and Fridays, and my wife and kids as always. And congrats to Lehman on the win.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats again on your second place finish, and we'll talk to you hopefully next week.
Thank you, sir.
Right, Alan, I'll let you talk to the race winner.
James Lehman, what a battle with you and Schulta. And you're the one that came out on top. Take us through that last lap and what was going through your mind as you and Schulta were battling pretty hard there for the race win.
Honestly, I was just trying to get to his outside. Was it mainly like the hardest thing to do? Is because it's like if you can get to somebody's outside, usually you're kind of guaranteed you can get around them, especially with the old tires. Going into the turn one there, I was trying to get the outside, and I just had to cut it a little bit short. That way I can get a run off the turn. And then going into 3, I was really debating going down the backstretch. Like, am I gonna go high or am I gonna go low? I didn't understand which way I was gonna go, and then I saw him go high, and then I just turned hard as left as possible as I could, and got down to that bottom. And then when I saw half his truck pop up in the rearview mirror, I was like, okay, I'm gonna clear him, and then that was it.
Yeah, that was a pretty intense battle, but nonetheless, now that's got to give you a huge boost of momentum as we head into the rest of the season. So what's your... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's definitely going to give me a huge boost of momentum for the rest of the season. I missed 3 races already. I'm trying to gain as much points and get back up there in the top 10 in points before the drop races start happening. So, yeah, it'll start playing out pretty good, for sure.
All right, man. Well, before we get you out of here, is there anybody that you would like to thank to help get you here tonight?
Thank you guys. Put on a good broadcast, and Bob for doing this. It's amazing. And shout out to everybody at Max V that put on a dominating performance.
All right, and we'll see you on the next one.
Later, bud.
Yep.
Well, that's another race in the books. An exciting finish here at Auto Club Speedway. We can bring up the race results. Got James Lehman, Andrew Schulta flip-flop from last week. Ryan Steele in P3, Justin Michael and Heath Smith round out that top 5. Bob Beltrami, William Kirk, Butch Davis, Chad Simpson, Brian Barnes are the top 10 tonight from Auto Club. Then you have Christian Bishop, Chris Simard, Matt Sisler, Rob Haynes, Chad Stearns are the top 15. Julian Ricci in 16th. Dennis Fuson, Rob Gall back in 18th. 19th is Dan Brazenton, Sean Rohr. Rounds out P20, Daryl Scott, Scott Kukas, Lyle Swearingen having to make that late race pit stop. Winds up 23rd. Wayne Fleet in 24th. Todd Miles in 25th. JTW and Michael Melfeld Jr. 26th, 27th. James Campbell, Morris Bogan, Barry Phil, and William Fletcher round out the top 31 of the drivers who took a lap here tonight. Carl Burke qualified but elected not to jump in the race, so he will finish 32nd. We will pack it up here from Auto Club and head off into the Northeast as we head to New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Alan, anything you want to say before we get out of here tonight?
No, it was a fun race, and it lived up to everybody's expectations.
It definitely did. I mean, 0.04 of a second separated the top 2 tonight. But we will see what they can do when they are back on track next week at New Hampshire. If you guys want more racing action, don't forget to tune in here 6 days a week. We got racing from Racers Elite tomorrow and Thursday. Then Saturday we have ECR and the Racers Elite Super Speedway Series before Sunday's action of the Sunday night NASCAR Series as they follow the full-length NASCAR Cup Series on Sunday nights. But from all the drivers of the Western States Racing League and all of us here at Sim Racing Media, I want to wish you guys a good night, and we will see you next time.